Welcome friends, welcome to the course of Instrumentation System. So we are discussing about flow and level sensing. Myself, Professor Nikhil Bhujbal from ENTC Department, KKO College of Engineering, Nasik. So in today's session, we will discuss about pitot statics tube, variable area type flow meters, that is rotameters. So pitot statics tube is basically a tube spanning the cross section of the pipe, the multiple frontal openings for average total pressure, and second tube facing backward to measure the static pressure. So in a pilot statics tube, pitot statics tube, the fluid basically Q is given by Q is equal to K under root of Ps minus Pi, where K is a constant, P is the static pressure, and Ps is the static pressure, and Pi is the impact pressure. Basically, the pitot statics tube is an alternative method of measuring flow rate, but has a disadvantage in that it really measures the fluid velocity at the nozzle, because the velocity varies over the cross section of the pipe, and the pitot-statics tube should be moved across the pipe in order to establish an average velocity, or the tube should be calibrated for one area. Another disadvantages are that the tube can become clogged with particulates, and that the differential pressures between the impact and the static pressures for low flow rates may not be enough to give a required accuracy, but the differential pressure in any of the above devices can be measured. Okay, so here you can see how pitot statics tube is utilized. Okay, again, how basically pitot statics tube is implemented in between the flow path. So this is a low pressure chamber. There is an internal averaging tube and outer impact tube, and differential pressure between the impact side and static side is measured by DP cell over here. So this is a high pressure side and low pressure side, and torpid head is given over here. Okay. Let's take a look of variable area type flow meters. So variable area term refers to those meters in which the minimal cross-sectional area available to the flow through the meter varies with the flow rate. And meters of this type include the rotameter, the movable vane meter used in pipe flows, and the weir or flume used in open channel flows. The measure of flow rate is geometrical quantity such as height of the bob in the rotameter, angle of the vane, or change in the height of the free surface of the liquid flowing over the weir or through the flume. We will discuss about the weir and flume. So rotameter, what is rotameter? It is basically a device which measures the flow rate of liquid or gas in a fluid tube, and it belongs to a class of meters called variable meters, which measures the flow rate by allowing the cross-sectional area the fluid travels through to vary, causing a measurable effect. And rotameter basically consists of a tapered tube. Here you can see this is a tapered tube, and typically it may be made of glass or plastic with a float. This is a float, and actually a shaped weight inside that is pushed up by the drag force from lower side to upper side if there is a flow from lower side to upper side, and also pulled down by the gravity. So drag force for a given fluid and float cross section is a function of flow speed squared only. So see the drag equation, you can see. So high volumetric flow rate through the given area increases the flow speed and drag force. So the float will be pushed upwards. So however, as inside of the rotameter is a cone shape widens, the area around the float through which the medium flows increases, and the flow speed and the drag force going to decrease until there is a mechanical equilibrium with the float's weight. And floats are made in many different shapes, with spheres and ellipsoids being the most common. The float may be diagonally grooved and partially colored so that it rotates axially as the fluid passes. The readings are usually taken at the top of the widest part of the float, at the center for an ellipsoid or the top for the cylinder. The float must not float in the fluid. Float must not float in the fluid. That is very important in case of rotameter. It has to have higher density than fluid. Otherwise, it will float to the top even if there is no flow. Okay, it should not be a lightweight, otherwise float will automatically go onto the top. So mechanical nature of the measuring principle provides a flow measurement device that does not require any electrical power. If the tube is made of metal, the float position is transferred to an external indicator via a magnetic coupling. And this capability has considerably expanded the range of application for the variable area flow meters, since the measurement can be observed remotely from the process or used for automatic control. So rotameter are often used as a direct visual indicator for the flow rate measurement. And rotameter is a vertically tapered tube, as I said, and tube is graduated in flow rate for characteristics of the gas or liquid flowing up the tube. Rotameter also consists of a conical transparent vertical glass tube which containing a bob, nothing but a flow. In some of the cases it is known as a bob, and flow rate is proportional to the height of the bob. Here you can see the plastic type and glass tube type of flow meters. And rotameter basically characterized by basic some characteristics that they are simple and robust construction. They are highly reliable, low pressure drop. These are certain important parameters regarding the rotameters. Let's take a look of what is the working principle of rotameters. So basically rotameter operation is based on the variable area principle, that is fluid flow raises the float in a tapered tube and increasing the area for passage of the fluid. Greater the flow, higher the float is raised, and the height of the float is directly proportional to the flow rate. So with liquids as water, the float is raised by a combination of buoyancy of the liquid and velocity head of the fluid. So when fluid or gas flows through a tapered tube containing a fluid, as I discussed, a pressure difference of P1 and P2 is created between the upper and lower side of the float. So float will move upward by a force obtained by a pressure differential by the maximum cross-sectional area of the float. So due to the tapered tube, as the float moves upwards, the float passing area increases. So here you can see whenever this float moves upward, the fluid passing area is going to increase. And there is a pressure difference that is proportional to the flow rates. What are the features of rotameters? So height of the float indicates the flow rate. The rotameter tube can be calibrated and graduated in suitable flow units. Rotameter tubes can also be made from glass, metal or plastic, as I said. Tube diameters range from 1/4 to greater than 6 inch. Glass or metal tubes are used depending on application need and safety. And plastic tube rotameters are the low cost rotameters. They are perfect for application which involves corrosive fluids and deionized waters. And almost all rotameters are insensitive to viscosity variations. So one of the early float design had slots which can cause the float to spin for stabilizing and centering purposes. And because of this rotation, the term rotameter was coined. If we talk about the glass rotameters, the basic rotameter is the glass tube rotameter, as we seen previously. Okay, so glass type of rotameter. So basically there are two types. Here you can see glass tube rotameter and magnetic rotameters. So the basic rotameter is a glass tube indicating type, and tube is a precision form for borosilicate glass, and float is precisely machined from metal, glass or plastic. And metal float is usually made of stainless steel to provide the corrosion resistance. And then float has sharp metering edge where the reading is observed by means of scale mounted alongside the tube. And end fittings and connections of the various materials and styles are available. So important elements are the tube and float, often called tube and float combination. Okay, so this is a tube and this is a float. A scale of the rotameter can be calibrated for direct reading of the air or water, or it may have scale to read the percentage of range, or an arbitrary scale to be used with conversion equations or charts. Okay. So safety shielded glass tube rotameters are also generally used throughout the industry for measuring both liquids and gases at rest. And rotameters are more widely used type of variable flow meter. And in this type of devices, the falling and rising action of the float is tapered. Okay, and this is a magnetic type of rotameter. So here you can see the action of magnetic type of rotameter in the diagram. So you can see the magnetic type of rotameter over here. These magnetic type of rotameters are basically used for an application where high pressure, temperature or corrosive conditions are there. So the metal variable area type flow meter is designed to measure flow rate of liquid, gases and steam under certain critical conditions. And this magnetic type of rotameter also consists of a tapered metal tube and which indicating assembly and floats. Here you can see. And magnet encapsulated in float couples with rotating magnets connected to an indicating point. So thus movement of the float is accurately indicated in terms of flow rate. Okay, so here movement indicator can also be provided in magnetic type of rotameter. Basically magnetic type of rotameter here you can see is in two form, in this form and in this form. Okay, so magnetic floats can be used for alarm and signal transmission functions basically. Basically, rotameters are applicable to a wide variety of gases and liquids. A flow range of 0.04 liter per hour to 150 cube per hour for water. And there is an uncertainty of 0.4% to 4% of maximum flow. There insensitivity to non-uniformity in the inflow. And typical maximum temperature is 400 degrees Celsius. Typical maximum pressure is 4 megapascal. Low investment cost, low installation cost is there. If you talk about the sizing of rotameters, so rotameters are generally provided with calibration data and direct reading scale for air or water. For sizing a rotameter for other service, it is necessary to first change the actual flow to a standard flow. And in case of liquid, the standard flow is meant to be a water equivalent in GPM, whereas when gases are concerned, the intended standard flow is in air flow equivalent in standard cubic feet per minute. And standard water equivalent GPM and air SCPM values are supplied by rotameter manufacturers basically. So it is required to mention the slide rules, nomographs, computer software which is often needed for sizing of the rotameter. So here you can see the Trogflux type of rotameter, Tubex type of rotameter. So in Trogflux type, it is a low cost plastic rotameter or variable area flow meter for water and transparent liquids, air and gases, and general purpose plastic rotameter which is used for non-demanding liquid or gas flow application. The FBA drop flux rotameter flow meter is available in standard and short tube length as well. If we talk about the Tubex type, it is also one of the variable area flow meter with a glass flow tube for measuring the volume of the transparent liquids and gases like air, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, argon, helium passing to the closing pipes. If you talk about the rotameter, that is UNOX, it is a removable glass flow tube for water, liquid, air and gases and high temperature applications. Okay, so rotameter, this type of rotameter is being given from Mecon GmbH that is compatible with many chemical substances and can withstand with temperatures up to 150 degrees Celsius. So Mecon GmbH is the manufacturer which gives that particular range for this type of rotameter. Another is the FVA Minix. So it is aluminum rotameter with glass flow tube and built-in needle wall for manual control of the flow rates. And the Mecon FVA Minix aluminum variable area flow meters with glass tube are used to measure the volume of transparent liquids and gases which are passing through a closed piping. And the built-in needle wall permits manual control of flow rates in this type of rotameters. Another is a FVA 250. They are rugged for environments, high temperatures and pressures And then all metal variable area flow meter for liquids and gases up to 300 degrees Celsius with a standard length of 250 mm and a completely metal design rotameter are there. So they can be used to measure many different types of liquids and gases which are passing through the closed pipe. How to choose a rotameter is very important. First important point is what is the minimum and maximum flow rate for flow meter, what is the minimum and maximum process temperature, what is the size of the pipe. Would you like a direct reading rotameter or is a lookup table acceptable? What accuracy do you need? Do you require a valve to regulate the flow? Will there be a back pressure? What is the maximum process pressure? Let's take a look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of rotameters. So rotameters are low cost, simplest. They are very simple, low pressure drop, quick, wider rangeability, linear output, high quality, high accuracy. Then until the introduction of electronic correctors and flow controls on another type of meters, PD meters were mostly used in batch loading and dispatching applications. If we talk about some disadvantages, they are bulky, especially in larger sizes. The fluid must be clean for measurement accuracy and longevity of the meter. More accurate PD meters are quite expensive, have high inertia of moving parts. A sudden change in the flow rate can damage the meter, and only for limited ranges of pressures and temperatures. So, in this way, various disadvantages of potentiometers are there. Let's take a look at positive displacement type of flow meter. So positive displacement flow meter, commonly called a PD meters, and they measure a volume flow rate of continuous flow stream by momentarily entrapping a segment of fluid into a chamber of known volume and release that fluid back into the flow stream onto the discharge side of meter. So by monitoring the number of entrapments for known period of time, a number of entrapments per unit time, the total volume of flow or the flow rate of the stream can be assessed. So total volume and the flow rate can then be displayed locally or transmitted to remote monitoring stations. So here you can see the piston type of PD meter, then over gear type of meters are there. Basically, the positive displacement type of flow meters are the only flow measuring technology in order to directly measure the volume of the fluid that passes through the flow meter, and it achieves by trapping pockets of fluid between the rotating components which are housed within a high precision chamber, and this can be compared to a repeatedly filling a beaker with fluid and pouring the contents downstream while counting the number of times the beaker is filled. While in case of electronic flow meters, the rotating components contains a magnet that activates various sensors options located outside the fluid chambers. Let's take a look at the piston type of PD meters. These are also known as the oscillating piston flow meters. That is this one. And these are one of the oldest positive displacement type of flow meter design. And these type of meters are mainly of single or multiple piston types. And another types available are double acting pistons and rotary pistons. And selection of particular type of piston meter depends on the range of flow rates necessary for an application. Although piston meters are smaller in size and considered apt for handling only low flow of viscous liquids, yet they are proficient enough to deal with the extensive range of liquids. And major application of this type of meter is reciprocity, is like oil metering on engine test stand, especially where the turn down ratio is not considered much crucial. In case of oval gear PD meters, this type of meters consist of two rotating or oval shaped gears constructed with synchronized close fitting teeth. In an oval gear meter, the rotation of the gear shafts cause a fixed amount of liquid to pass through the meter, and by monitoring the number of shaft rotation, one can calculate the liquid flow rate. And this type of meter basically prove to be a very accurate when slippage between the housing and gears is set to very small. Let's take a look at rotary vane meters. So these meters exist in different design. However, they all work on the same operating principle. This meter basically includes uniformly divided rotating impellers with two or more compartments inside the chamber, and number of rotations of the impellers are counted and recorded in volumetric units. So these type of meters are frequently employed in petroleum industries. And based on the construction material, the maximum pressure and maximum temperature limits of rotary vane meters are from 350 Fahrenheit to 1000 and 1000 psi respectively. Okay. So here you can see the rotation and counting. Let's take a look of nutating type, nutating disk meters. These are widely used type of flow meters. They consist of movable disk which is positioned on a concentric sphere which is situated inside a spherical side wall unit, and they are universally employed as a residential water meter. Okay, they are available in various size and capacities. Now let's take a look of helix type of meters. These type of meters are made up of two radically pitched helical rotors, which results in an axial liquid displacement from one side of chamber to the another side. And both the rotors are geared together, and there is a very small clearance between the rotors and the casting. So two rotors are there. So here you can see. Then birotor PD meters are also there. The birotor flow meter features two precisely machine rotating members known as helical rotors, which rotate and mesh within the meter's interior housing in order to form a flow measuring chamber of known volume, and that may be used to accurately determine the flow measurement as a function of rotor velocity. Okay. So helical mo motion is transmitted. Here you can see the helical motion is transmitted to the flow transmitter display via sealed coupling. Okay. Then there are some multi-piston flow meters are also there. Let's take a look of some of the advantages of positive displacement flow meters, that they are accurate and high turn down. They can be used in viscous, dirty and corrosive fluids, and essentially require no straight runs of pipe for fluid flow, stream conditioning through pressure drop, and can be an issue. So PD flow meters with internal wiping seal produce the highest differential pressure of all flow meter types. Meters that rely on liquid seal relatively low pressure drops, and positive displacement meters can measure both liquids and gases like turbine meters, PD flow meters, which work best with clean and non-corrosive and non-erosive liquids and gases. And because of their high accuracy, these positive displacement meters are widely used at residences to measure the amount of gas or water used. However, a positive displacement meters can be considerably heavier and more costly than non-positive displacement types such as orifice plates, magnetic or vortex flow meters. So that's all about today's sessions. We had discussed about rotameters, flow, basic fundamentals of flow, rotameters, and we had discussed about what different types of rotameters, size of rotameters, its advantages, disadvantages, then positive displacement type of meters and its advantages, disadvantages. So thank you for listening. We will have more discussion on flow measurement and level sensing in the next sessions. Thank you.